important to note here, right, that Trump is now, today, and it's a daily poll, 49% approval rating for his job. Now, exact same point in time, 2012, Obama was 45%, of course, went on to win in 2012 against Mitt Romney. Now, do you take any heed in this at all, Corey, or is this one of those little false dawn blippy moments and then, 2 days later after this interview or that tweet, things obviously flick and bounce around? But it is instructive that Obama clearly was below water but was able to go on to win. Can Trump do the same?
Well, Paul, firstly, I think that Trump can go on to win, and I'm not going to endorse polls unilaterally because I think they're absolutely flawed. And I think a lot of people don't say what they truly feel. They'll say what they think the community expects. So I would expect that Trump's ratings will actually be a little bit higher than that myself. But there are a couple of things that I think that they're instructive when you look at history, because you need to be able to do comparisons, and so this is a favourable one for him. There's also another couple of things. The stock market performance 3 months prior to polling day, which started just a couple of days ago, is an 87% correlation with who wins. So if the stock market is higher in 3 months' time than it was a couple of days ago, it's likely the incumbent is going to win. You'll follow the betting markets, and they've started to narrow a little bit as well. People are starting to recognise that Biden needs to be examined. He can't be protected by the press and the Democrats forever. And so the more that happens, the instant he debates Trump, if indeed he does, I think everything will turn. And so I think Trump will win reasonably convincingly, and the polarised electorate will help him to get people out to vote.
And interestingly, to that very point, today, an opinion piece in the New York Times, and remember, of course, if they don't like what you write in the New York Times, the opinion editor gets sacked. Watch out, James, the opinion editor, a position of danger at many a place. But they were more than happy for this piece to go in to suggest that Biden shouldn't even debate Trump, that these are sort of an old school and unnecessary thing, and it will elevate Trump's bin fire politics to 60 million people in real time. Of course, what they're desperately trying to do is to avoid Biden wetting himself on 3 different occasions publicly.
Well, and this is the thing that is just amazing to me, is that the media in the U.S. is hauling and dragging Joe Biden across the line here to try and install him into the Oval Office without there being any public scrutiny. The funniest
weekend
line,
at Biden's.
the weekend at Biden's, and like everybody knows that he's got some problems. He can't follow a thought. But the funniest line, Paul, in this New York Times piece, they actually said, after all of these sorts of reasons why, debates are just terrible. I'm not writing this, by the way, because I'm afraid that Donald Trump might win a debate. ... And it's like, oh, come on. You said the loud part quiet and the quiet part loud.
It's a very, very good point. But also, just finally, again, Michael, look, again, it's a crapshoot. Who knows here? You've got this scenario where for the Democrats, it's great to keep their bloke in the basement. For the Republicans, it's bad to keep Trump in the White House because he can't go and show the enthusiasm gap that is there. Again, but at some point in time, they are going to have to stand opposite each other. I know so many democratic norms or institutional norms get thrown away, but good luck trying to appoint a president without putting them through at least 1 hour of having to stand opposite the person who's applying for their job.
Well, if I were Biden's advisors, there's no way in the world I would let him near Trump. You wouldn't let him debate Trump in a million years. Look, what's he got to gain? Okay, he'll get some flack for not being on the stage with Trump. But quite frankly, mate, he doesn't know where he is. How can you put him up there for an hour against Trump? Trump will murder him. And everyone is going to start realising that Biden is just so far past it. So whatever flack he will get by not appearing against Trump, they can make up some excuse and just hide him. And look, let's be frank. These days, Joe Biden is like one of those Eastern European dictators that had passed away, but they didn't want the public to know he's gone, so they prop him up in the chair with today's newspaper. So there he is. He's Ceausescu. He's still alive.
Yeah, correct.
Look at him, the poor fella. He doesn't know where he is. Now,